Hey friends, welcome back to The Production Pastor. As you've heard me say at the beginning of all my videos, I always share with you the mission of The Production Pastor, which is helping you and your teams grow as technical artists and disciples of Jesus. Well, in today's video, I just want to simply break down that phrase, break down that mission statement, explain a little bit the vision behind The Production Pastor. So let's jump right in. In my life, I've just had a long journey being in production since I was a kid. All I want to do is take those stories, those experiences, the things that I've learned, and share them with you in hopes they will help you grow, not just as a technical artist, but actually grow as a minister of the gospel, someone who works in production, who is training other production artists, who is helping the church preach the gospel every week through their gifts. That's my goal, is to help you get better at that. But then also, my goal is to help you not just do that for yourself, but actually empower you to help your team grow. The next phrases I really want to break down is this idea of growing as a technical artist and growing as a disciple of Jesus. And really, when I say these phrases, it comes down to two main things, which is mentorship and discipleship. So let's talk about that first mentorship part. I believe one of our goals as production pastors, technical directors, any sort of production leader in the local church is not to just grow, but it's to actually help others grow and to mentor people. And I think the cool part about this is we have two unique opportunities. The first is really this idea that there are just certain people who won't serve in other parts of the church, but are very open to serving in production, and they will loyally serve to their heart's content and be a faithful member of your team. And this is fantastic because our goal is not to just produce our services. Our goal is to create a place where people can join and serve the church, to experience the gospel by hearing it, by helping proclaim it, and then also to find community through serving. I really have always been against this stereotypical sound guy who's like being territorial around the booth and won't let anyone else learn. I just think that's the opposite of who we are called to be. I think we're supposed to be open-handed and have a place where people can come and serve and find community together with our team. And I think for us as leaders, it's our job to make a culture and to make teams and spaces where that can actually happen. And that's really exciting to me, but that's a tall order. It's a tall order to do a service every week, to produce it, to plan for it, to make sure the logistics are set, to get a team of volunteers most likely, to train them up and make sure that it's good enough for what we want to do, and then to help them grow. That's a lot of work. But that is what I want to help you with, is to help you grow your team to make those spaces so that people can engage in serving the church and finding community on your team. Something I really love about production is we live in a digital and technological society. Everyone watching this video, guarantee you're either watching this on a smartphone or you have a smartphone within 4 feet of you. There's technology that empowers the way we work and the way we live our lives. And the exciting part about that is there are people who will join your production team. It may change the course of their life. I know that's what happened for me. Is when I was a kid, I enjoyed church productions so much that I wanted to dedicate my life to it. I felt God's call to minister to people, but I also felt this love for music and for technology, and those things all fit together, and now that's what I'm doing with my life. I'm a full-time technical director, and then I'm making videos like this to help you grow as a technical person as well. There is this ability that we have as technical leaders to shape the course of people's lives, of those that we come in contact with. My passion for this is really helping you again create a space where people can find ways to serve in your church, that they can find community together, and that you can train them and mentor them through that process. So that's really the idea of mentorship. But on the other hand, I want to talk about discipleship. For the longest time, there's this been kind of dichotomy in the Christian world that pastors and teachers and paid staff and maybe missionaries are this kind of like upper level of Christian, and those are like the true like ministry people. And then you've got all like the people in between, and then people who just work like secular jobs. And this just couldn't be further from the truth. The fact is, all Christians everywhere are called to make disciples. And I think the problem for us as technical leaders is we are usually kept out of that high-level leadership box. People don't typically look at your production director and say, yeah, he's a pastor, totally. He's up there with all the ministry staff. But that's just not true. I don't know that I can really believe that. You see, my own experience has been the work I do is amazingly ministry driven. Now, of course, it looks different. I mean, I'm sitting in the back of the room. I have a different way and a different perspective of how my work is done, but it's still ministry. You know, I don't think production is any less of a ministry. I think we're just a different kind of ministry. And so I always want to be able to speak to this because If we think that we don't belong in that box, we may not be discipling others. But just as I said with the mentorship piece, our ability to disciple others is amazing. Because of these people who are going to be working with us on our team, we have the ability not to just maybe help them get better at what they do with a video camera or get better at audio. We have the chance to expose them to Jesus and help them grow in a closer relationship with God. And at the end of the day, even above and beyond producing our services and preaching the gospel, ministering to those people and helping them grow as disciples is the core of our ministry. And so the other goal of the production pastor is to simply talk about these things, because it does look different for us. It is hard to do all the work we do and still find to disciple those people on our teams, especially because for a lot of us, we didn't plan on getting into production for the ministry part. We usually did it because we're really good at something technical. But again, God is calling us to help make disciples. So how do we do that? Being technical, and how do we make disciples? Well, that is one of the missions of the production pastor. And so to even start you on that journey right now in this video, I want to ask you one question. And this is a question I stole from a guy named Dave Miller, who has a program called Leadership Pathway, which is all about mentorship and discipleship. And this big question is simply this: who is the next you? It's simple enough to ask, to figure out who are you replacing yourself with? Who are you actually intentionally training and discipling to grow as a technical artist, but also to grow as a disciple of Jesus? Because that is our ultimate mission as production leaders in the church. Our ministry is to help proclaim the gospel and help people experience the word of God through our gifts of technology, but then also to make disciples through our gifts, but also through training our team and helping them grow as disciples of Jesus. That would be my challenge for you, is to simply answer that question. Who is the next you? That's it for this week. Talk to you next time. Have a great weekend.